Let's bring in founder and executive director of the National Security Institute, Jamil Jaffer. It's good to see you again, Jamil.
Thanks, Natasha.
Now, Saudi Arabia's foreign minister says that Iran's neighbors would take measures to strengthen their own security. What does that mean, and how serious is that threat?
Well, I think the real concern that Saudi Arabia and a lot of Iran's neighbors have expressed repeatedly is a fear that Iran would get operational nuclear weapons. We know that the Iranians have sought to obtain enough fissile material for nuclear weapons. We know that they have tried to build ballistic missile delivery capabilities. And the question is, can they put all that together with a warhead design that could threaten their neighbors? And if so, it's likely their neighbors will seek to conduct their own nuclear programs, or at least find a way to respond to that Iranian activity.
How concerning is that? How realistic is that threat, do you believe?
Well, it's obviously very troubling because, the Iranians have long been seeking to obtain these capabilities. The U.S. sought to make a deal with them back in the 2013, 2014, 2015 timeframe. That deal was in place for a while. It wasn't a particularly good deal. President Trump got out of it. The Biden administration is trying to get back in that deal. But the reality is that the Iranians have been pursuing this for a long, long time. And I do worry that this potential for escalation across the Middle East, if the Iranians are allowed to get nuclear weapon, could be very problematic.
And meanwhile, anti-government protests in Iran certainly not helping the negotiations for Iran's nuclear deal and the stalling of that. What is the status of those protests now, especially as we did see the execution, the first execution of a protester this week?
Well, those protests continue to go on. They've ebbed and waned over time, but they are very forceful. And the reality is that they are at least seeking to achieve some amount of change and maybe being successful. We did see some suggestions by Iran's Attorney General about a week and a half back suggesting that this religious affairs ministry, the one that was engaging in these acts against women, might be disbanded, might be not authorized to do that. At the same time, we saw they're still planning on enforcing those hijab laws. So the question becomes, what happens next? And we know that, putting all of that aside, this effort to influence the region, engage in support of terrorist groups, and obtain nuclear weapons continues to be a priority of this administration, of the leadership and the regime in Iran, led by Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei. And that's fundamentally the challenge that all the states in the region face when it comes to the Iranian regime.
And Jamil, what good is it to abolish the morality police if the laws that they upheld will continue to be enforced just by another force?
Well, Natasha, that's exactly it. It's sort of a distinction without a difference. And so for the Iranian people who continue to protest, they still want to see more substantive change. They've demonstrated that they can potentially start to achieve some success. And so if they continue to press forward, the United States and our allies continue to back them and, frankly, provide more support. That might lead to successful change in Iran over the long run.
All right, Jamil Jaffer, appreciate the insight and time. Thank you.
Thanks, Natasha.